what does community hospital say? It says at this time it is a policy of Fitness Point to grant discounts for spouses or children under the age of 25 who live in the same address. Our definition of a spouse matches the state of Indiana's definition of marriage. As more states expand their definition of marriage, we may evaluate the policy. Kwasny said, community told us they have no plans to change the policy.
Well, I've been listening to you talking about this for the last 2 mornings, and I think anyone who knows me knows that I'm going to side with the same-sex couple. While I do have to say that I could see where community hospital is coming from because of at what point do they draw the line. Nowadays, there are so many heterosexual couples that are not marrying. So are they considered a family unit for the purposes of getting family discounts, for the purposes of getting medical insurance? I don't know. And is that what community hospital is saying regarding their policy, that they have to have a policy that they can adhere to, that they can define so that they don't have problems with other people coming up and trying to join as a family? I think that in this day and age, no matter how much we say as a community, as America, as the new millennium, as much as we try to say that we move forward, I think every step we take forward, sometimes we take 10 steps backward because there's always another group of people that are being discriminated against or being excluded or, not being included in some fashion or form.
The women believe that a hospital of all places, which supposedly values the health and well-being of its patients, would go further lengths to offer equal access. And this means the opportunity for family membership if other families have that right, Sandler said.
Right.
So I think that, part of it is also the issue of Indiana and Illinois. In other words, they're not going to recognize the marriage or the civil union in Illinois, but there's a ton of people that are members of Fitness Point that come from Illinois.
Well, but here's the thing, reciprocity. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah,
if they are not going to, if in Indiana they're not going to recognize the civil union of this particular couple in Illinois, then does that mean that when a heterosexual couple is married in the state of Illinois, that the state of Indiana is going to say that they're not going to recognize that union because it didn't take place in Indiana? Well, they're going to argue, no, we're not going to go that far because we have the same similar law, meaning, that that heterosexual people can get married.
So, obviously there's a lot of issues here, and I got to believe that the community hospital lawyers are really looking at this because nobody likes getting slammed with a big discrimination suit, which they may be skirting.
Right. Well, and then you have to differentiate also. I think from what I've read in that article and what I've heard on these airwaves is just basically it's not that they're discriminating against homosexuals because anyone can join. What they're not allowing to have happen here is they're not allowing them to put themselves in the category of a family for the purposes of getting a discount.
Well, that's, we're looking in the legal, and thanks for simplifying some of that, but let's look more into the social fabric. A lesbian couple moves into Munster, the most all Republican town council going into today. They have a kid. The girl has a kid. The other one adopts it, so they're mom and mom. They're like that movie, The Kids Are All Right, mom and mom. And so you see that in California. You don't see that in Munster. What kind of message is being sent to those two women, one of whom's fighting cancer?
What message is being sent by whom? By whom?
What these women are taking it as being we didn't expect to move here and be discriminated against.
You know what? And it's unfortunate because that's the reality of Northwest Indiana.